Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Scott Mcbain. I am Vice President of Customer Experience at Vermac. I have Serge Baudry with me as co-presenter. Serge is our Vice President of R&D and also our Product Manager, and he will help me today answer any questions that you might have about this presentation. You will notice you have access to our chat platform, so please feel free to ask your question at any time. We'll do our best to answer your questions as the presentation happens. We will also have a 15-minute window at the end of this presentation as well to answer any questions you might have. Today's presentation is to help inform you of new features and functionalities that consistently added to our Pro Series signs and our Jamlogic fleet management software. Our goal is to enhance your experience and help you become more efficient in managing your fleet. So let's jump right in. First topic we're presenting to you today has been a big request from our customers for a long time now. So when you purchase a new Pro Series sign from Vermac, it will now auto-populate a new device in your Jamlogic organization automatically. This sounds simple, right? However, it was a big challenge for us to do this on our end. That being said, now we can say we've done it. What you'll find new in your Jamlogic organization is the following. A new folder called New Device Delivery will now appear in your organization with a Vermac icon. This is to help you easily identify this folder. In the New Device Delivery folder, your new devices will now appear. How does it work on our end? Well, once your new sign reaches our quality control stage after being produced at our factories, our inspector will test the modem and its communications of your sign. And it is at that moment where our Pro Series controller will sync up to your account in our system and identify your Jamlogic organization. Our system will now know where to populate your new device in Jamlogic organization. We also added the VIN number as the device name to help you identify your new trailers. We also added a new field in your device properties called VIN. Your trailer VIN number will also be added into this new field. So all you have to do now is change your device name to whatever you want or to maybe a specific asset number and then press save. Once this is done, all you have left to do is add your device to another folder for use. This can be done by dragging and dropping your device. As a distributor or as a reseller, there are some things you need to know. The rule of thumb is whoever purchases the equipment from Vermac will receive the new device in their organization. So for a distributor or a reseller, it will be your responsibility to make sure to set up your end customer's organization and devices. Don't worry, we made it simple for you to do this. By right-clicking on the device, you will have access to two features, Share Device and Give Ownership. What is the difference? Well, for example, if you are renting your equipment to a customer, you might want to share that device rather than give ownership of that device. By sharing the device, this will duplicate your device and allow you to share a device to another organization for your end customer to use. Also, this will allow you to keep the device in your organization, giving you the ability to monitor your asset. Let me show you how to share and remove a device. Select Share. Select Add Organization. A list of organizations will appear. Select the organization you want. Press OK. Press Save, and then close. By doing that, you'll see an icon that will appear, and it will give you a location of which organization you're actually sharing this device with. If I wanted to remove this device from that organization, sharing with that organization, I would do the same process, share, select the organization, remove, save, and then close. So that I am no longer sharing that device with that organization. The other option is to give ownership. In this case, for example, if you sold the equipment to your end customer, you can give ownership of that device to your end customer's organization. This means your end customer now has complete ownership of that asset, and you will no longer have access to this device within your organization. Let me show you. Same thing, right click, select give ownership, have access to all the organizations. We want to give ownership to ATSA 2020, press OK, and that device no longer appears in my window. If I open the other organization, you will now see that device there in this organization. The second topic I have for you today is about secure remote access on our Pro Series signs. Now, when you purchase any Pro Series signs, it comes with a communication package. So now you no longer need to worry about managing cellular accounts and overages. We take care of it for you. Not only we offer you communications with your equipment, we also add cybersecurity so you can have peace of mind. Every Pro Series sign is attached to our very own private cellular network. This establishes a secure and encrypted connection to ensure only you can access your signs. Our private cellular network masks your IP address so your online actions are virtually untraceable. So nothing to worry about. We got your back. This segues me into my next topic and more goodies that we can offer you with our Pro Series signs because we now offer you communications on all your equipment. How can this benefit you? Well, Jamlogic communicates to your signs automatically and systematically every hour, getting important information of your sign's vitals and updates your sign's GPS location. There is no setup required on your side. Jamlogic just does it for you with the Pro Series sign. This will allow you to always ensure in Jamlogic you can see where your equipment is and ensure it is always in the right location by viewing the map. If the sign moves on site, Jamlogic will find it and relocate it on your map. Also, our Pro Series VTouch controller now does push notification for the sign status and sign messaging. What does that mean? Well, any vitals of your equipment change in the field, the status icon will change in Jamlogic. Example, if the sign has an error, our Pro Series signs will send a push notification to Jamlogic in real time and change the status icon in Jamlogic. This will be the same for messages that are changed locally on your equipment. So now what you see in Jamlogic for messaging displayed on your sign is the exact representation of what is being played in the field. Now, let's talk about maintenance. Remember I told you earlier that Jamlogic checks your equipment vitals every hour. Well, it also checks your sign voltage and logs that information. In this case, I noticed one of my signs voltage is relatively low on the device compared to the other device below. Let's talk data and figure out what's wrong with the sign. First, right-click on the sign in question, and then select Show Device Data. In here, I want to compare this device to another device, so I will select Devices, open up the folder, find that other device, add it to my list, and press OK. My next step is to select Parameters. In those parameters, I have a long list of different vitals I can validate on my sign. In this case, we want to check battery voltage and solar voltage. Press OK, and then Generate. What you see here is a typical battery trending voltage. The solar voltage raises to 20 volts during the day and lowers in voltage at night and then comes back up during the day. That same trend happens with your battery voltage. It peaks during the day, and lowers at night, and then peaks back up. In a situation where there was bad weather, typically you would not have this peak. What I like to do is always trend back a good week to see the historical data on the signs. By selecting date range, you have a long list of different items you can choose from. In this case, we want to select last week range, then press generate. Now you can see an overall trend of weeks worth of data of your sign. And you can see it was sunny every day where the solar panels would raise to 20 volts and my batteries would peak as well. If I compare the bottom chart to the chart above, you can see the solar voltage never passes 16 volts and my battery voltage trends do not peak and goes on a slow decline. This tells me there's a problem with this sign, or the location in which the sign is situated is not getting enough solar voltage. Let's investigate further. In your maps view, you can locate the sign in question, zoom in. You also have the ability to change your map view. In this situation, we want to see a satellite map view. This sometimes helps to figure out the location of your sign and if it's problematic. And if I look here, it's in an open field, however, situated beside a tree. This may be a first indication of maybe why the solar voltage is not charging over 20 volts. This is where Jamlogic with historical data and with map views can help you figure out what's going on with your signs. To help you, you also have access to our maintenance log module. By right-clicking on the device with the low voltage and selecting Edit Maintenance Logs, you have the ability to take notes on this device. By selecting the date, it will select today's date and default your name. In details, you can add notes. In this case, we want to indicate move sign away from tree lines. Once that's done, you can press save. Close out the window, and you'll notice a maintenance log note icon appearing on your device. This tells you there's notes on this device. Just to show you again, I'm going to right-click on the device, edit maintenance log, select the date, and add more notes. In this case, we want to bring the sign back to our yard. I press save. Also, you have the ability to come back into your notes, and once that task is done, you can check off flag and press save, indicating that that task was done. If you want to get an overview of all your logs on all your devices, you can also right-click and select Maintenance Logs Report. In here, you can select specific devices or all devices and press Generate. This will generate all your historical logs. This range is for the last year. You also have custom dates you can select from as well. At the end of all this, weekly or monthly, you also have the ability to export this data into Excel. In this last part, I want to show you how to proactively monitor your fleet. As a global user in Jamlogic, you'll have access to alert management. Alert management allows you to set up email notifications for any changes on your equipment that happens in the field. The specific feature I want to talk to you about today is our new battery alert algorithm that will help you proactively identify new battery trends on your equipment. As you can see in the graphs that I'm presenting to you, you have two very different battery trends. This new battery alert algorithm is there to help you identify low battery trends and advise you in many days prior to the sign going into a low voltage state. With this alert, you now have the time to take action on your equipment in the field. Let me explain how the new battery algorithm works. This new algorithm analyzes the last 10 days of your battery state of charge and compares it to the last 3 days. If our algorithm notices a variation in that battery voltage, it will then trigger an alert. By adding this intelligence to your alert, You will now receive more accurate alerts on your equipment. So now, let me show you how to set it up. In Tools, you will see Alert Manager. However, prior to selecting Alert Manager, we need to set up our email addresses for notification. So first select Mailing List Editor. In Mailing List Editor, you'll have the ability to set up multiple groups with multiple email addresses. In this case, we're going to leave our name of our group called default, and I will add my email address. Below, you have the ability to add in additional email addresses. Once that's done, simply press Save. Go back to Tools and select Alert Manager. In this window, under Alerts, we want to simply select Add. And in the first section, you'll have a list of multiple alerts that you're able to set up on your equipment. In our case, we want to set up battery trends. The next step is setting up a delay, which we're going to leave at 0, and select a mailing list group. As you remembered, we called it default. The last step is to set up devices. These are the 2 devices that I'm going to set up alerts on. Press OK, press Save, and close out the window. What you'll notice now is an icon alert that will appear on your device, letting you know you have an alert set up for this device. So now all your alerts are set up on your device to proactively monitor your fleet going forward. I want to thank everyone for joining today's presentation on new features and functionalities on our Pro Series sign and our Jamlogic fleet management software.